Next up, at UFC 292, we have the main event of the evening. We have Weili Zhang taking on Amanda Lemos. Weili Zhang, 23-3 overall. The current and former strawweight champion of the world. She's 3-2 in her last 5, and she's coming off that title win over Carla Esparza. Amanda Lemos, 13-2 overall, 4-1 in her last 5. She's coming off 2 stoppage wins in a row.
Was that paramedics? What's the safe word?
No, I literally was tongue-tied. It wasn't like it was like my tongue. Anyway, I have a giant. How do you think I get a wife like this? Anyway.
What the fuck?
Weili, as I mentioned, former and current UFC champion. She lost her belt to Rose, lost a rematch to Rose, then beat the piss out of now retired Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Rose lost in the worst fight in the history of time to Carla Esparza, and then Weili just smoked Carla Esparza, and that's the full cycle of her belt. It is not very often that a champ loses their belt and then gets it back like a year or 2 later. But Weili did, because she's incredible everywhere. She's got very good striking. She's incredibly strong. She's got very good wrestling and very good jiu-jitsu. She's literally good everywhere. I think she is by far the best person in this division, the most well-rounded person. Even those losses to Rose. The first was she was knocked out. Big head kick. Got her, done, can't argue that. The second one, I think she won that second fight. I think that was a bad decision.
You know, I'm sorry, you said she's the best in the division?
Oh, did you know that Amanda Hebos is in this division, who was just flatlined? I do know she's in this division. I just watched them scrape her off the floor. She's taking on Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos is a Muay Thai striker. She's got fast hands, a ton of power. She does a very good job keeping her fights at that Muay Thai range and then avoiding takedowns. She's got a solid 81% takedown defense. You're even going to see that she was submitted by Jessica Andrade. That was like some fluky standing against the cage stuff. She was not taken down in that fight. She is coming off that TKO win over Marina Rodriguez, where she had her own takedowns and really just one, but 3 minutes of control time. Pretty low volume on her feet. I think Weili wins this fight. I think Weili is going to be better than Amanda everywhere except probably raw power, right? Amanda definitely has some very, very real power. But Weili just showed us that she can wrestle, showed us that she can grapple. We knew she was a phenomenal striker. And I'm very, very confident in Weili. I mentioned I have that parlay with her. The only thing that worries me a little bit is Amanda's very good. Like very, very, very good. And that's what worries me here. I don't really see a hole in Weili's game. Obviously, she's been knocked out, can be knocked out. Outside of that, I don't see her losing. So very confident Weili. I mentioned I think Weili is the best in the world. I think Amanda Lemos is probably the second best in this division. And there's just a big-ass gap between 1 and 2, and that's going to happen sometimes. So Weili's the very confident pick. What do you think, Jakey Boy?
Yeah, I've honestly gone back and forth on this fight. And originally, I'll be honest with you, I did pick Lemos because when I'm watching, there's 2 things that are absolutely true. Actually, let me say 3 things that are absolutely true about Weili. Number 1, she's the better overall fighter in this match. The more technical fighter. She honestly should win the fight because of that. The 2 things are very important in my mind. Number 1, she is tough as shit. Weili is very, very tough. We've seen her get in wars, and she can come out of those wars, and she's going to work through positions. And even if there's adversity, unless she's like completely put out, she will work through situations. Number 3, which I guess is number 2 of the important parts,
what?
is I'm sorry you can't keep up, but everyone else in the chat is more than capable.
Okay.
The second point is that we know that she's tough because she does get hit. And when you watch these fights, and I rewatched the Joanna fight and some other fights, she does get hit. And Joanna was laying some nice right hands on Weili. Now, Joanna's going to be probably faster than Lemos. But if Lemos is landing those same shots, she can definitely put away Weili. I believe that Lemos in the striking, even in the grappling, is the more dangerous fighter. She's very aggressive in everything she does. And if Weili comes in a little bit willy-nilly and says, you know what, I'm gonna wrestle early, and I'm gonna wear down Lemos, and I'm gonna take the pop out of her shots, that's probably what she should do. And you can mess around on the feet a little bit, but Lemos, I mean, she just fucking stands there, man. And she just stands there and she's like, come on. Throw that strike, and I'm going to throw this right hand. If you want to wrestle early, though, and Weili isn't like this, I've been wrestling my whole life, and I know how to wrestle. She can wrestle, and she can get takedowns, but Lemos is also very good at those. You saw it happen with Michelle Waterson. I mean, she will chase the guillotine, and I think she is very dangerous. But as I was breaking down the fight, and I was leaning into it a little bit more, after I picked Lemos as my pick, I was like, you know what? I can't make a pick off of what I believe is probably a Hail Mary situation. Because just like people were saying, everyone's got a puncher's chance. And Lemos definitely has as much puncher's chance as anyone is going to have in a fight. But that feels like that probably is what that is, right? Weili is more technical. She's the better overall fighter. Even if she gets hit, there's no guarantee that she's going to get knocked out. We've seen her take shots before. And if she's able to even eat shots or get the wrestling involved, she should honestly probably wear down Amanda and kind of dominate this fight into later rounds. So I kind of went back on myself. I said, you know what? I understand that Lemos is probably the better fighter, but I can't make her my pick. But I do believe that the value here is probably in some Lemos props rather than like a Weili money line, because Lemos is dangerous, man. She's dangerous, and don't be surprised if something weird happens and she ends up winning this title. But as far as a pick, I mean, Weili is the better fighter. And as you said, it's hard to pick against the better fighter. So I'm going with Weili here, but I mean, she is not, for me, it's not like crazy parlays. It's not chasing -300 money line. I respect the danger of Lemos. My Brazilian women, you know. And Lemos is hot. Both these girls are hot.
I have a couple of parlays on this card. I have no money lines, actually. There was a lot of people I was confident in. They were a little expensive, so I have a couple of different parlays. I am not overly exposed to anybody. And Weili's probably in my sketchiest parlay, because while I am confident in her, the other half is Cheeto, who I'm not insanely confident in.
What a dumb bet.
Okay. You want me to throw it on Bet Openly? You want to take the other side? Tough guy? Okay. Like that doofus in the...
I'll take that all day, honestly, because I think both of them could lose. Go ahead. Set it up.
You only need one.
Go ahead.
Okay. I would just... Next time you're talking...
Oh, pussy.
I'll send it to you. Why would I... Okay. $9,200 in DraftKings. This is a 5-round fight, and I do think there will be wrestling. So I think Weili is worth the 92.
There will be blood.
I think she's worth...
Do you know what that's from?
There will be blood?
There will be blood.
Is it from There Will Be Blood?
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 ba 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 ba.
I can't wait till your next door basement level apartment neighbor complains that you're loud and screaming and banging on the walls. All right. $9,200 in DraftKings.
Copyright.
It was just so clear. I think Weili's worth the $9,200 in DraftKings. She's probably going to work in some takedowns, and this is a 5-round fight, and if it goes a distance, we'll get our money's worth, and if it doesn't, we'll get our money's worth. Do you agree with that statement?
I didn't really hear what you said, because I'm just lost in the beauty of both these women. I like Weili. Weili's hilarious too. She's learning more and more English. On the embedded too, she learned how to say, "What's up, brother?" And somebody walked in, she's like, "What's up, brother?" And they fucking lost it. It's so funny. She's funny. She's funny.
Yeah, that is funny. But certainly Amanda Lemos, like you mentioned, one punch is an option. So she should potentially be in some of your GPP lineups. WeOwnPicks.com. It's only $10 a month. You can unlock all the tools, all the insight, all the bets, including the safety parlay for this card and every other card in a month period. This is not a week. This is not per event. This is per month. WeOwnPicks.com. Click Become a Member. A couple of super chats. $1.99 from Cloud Limited Liability Corporation. He says, O'Malley is too easy. What you LMAO about? Oh, I think this was...
Did you get the super chat of that guy that was thanking me that he won $2,000 on my lock of the week?
Sure did not.
Oh my God. I just
Here it
remember
is.
that one.
Nope. It must have been a while ago.
It was a long time ago because I was going to tell him thanks for the 5 spot. He said, I think it was 5 Canadian. He's like, your lock of the week won me $2,000. Appreciate the donation.
I'll take it. Thank you. I'll see if I can find it. And then $1.90 signed from Junior Ranks. He says, I'm 100% sure Lemos will win by vicious knockout.
With the laughing emoji.
Oh. Well, but sometimes people use that like, I don't know. I'm too old to know how people use that shit. Okay. Let's move on.
Oh.